Okay, welcome to the Karen Mitches podcast. Today we have Felipe Esmeral.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Karen.
Thanks for coming on. How have you been today?
Good. I got up a little bit later. I went out last night, so the start to the day was a little slow.
Oh, you know what I didn't do was tell you.
Oh. Here? This is good?
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you just think of like
a mic.
the camera where that is, that I want to get your full face.
Oh. I was hiding behind
because
it.
you're so cute.
Oh.
Sorry. So you were out partying last night.
I was out partying last night. Yeah.
We can tell the age difference that like I was at home sleeping and you were out at a party.
And I don't really party too much. Like, this was like a rare occasion.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into my home era.
Nice.
The nestle snug in the apartment. Cozy. What'd you do? Like, what's a Saturday night?
Oh my God.
For Karen Mitches.
I'm taking a writing class, so I was like I finished my assignment and submitted it online. And
you did homework on a Saturday night?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
Which I guess could be a young person era.
Yeah, teenager. Yeah, middle school Karen comes out on Saturday nights. I love that. What's this writing course about?
It's writing for TV is that TV comedy?
TV. Is it with a guy named Brent?
No.
Forrester?
My teacher's called Trisha Fish.
Trisha Fish, okay.
So there's a number of writing classes through U of T continuing education.
Oh, cool.
So I did one of their screenwriting classes, and then this is my second class, and it's a great program. Like I guess I don't know that much about writing programs in general, but they have, pro writers, and so you're learning from somebody who's actually in that business and understands that style of writing.
Yeah. Is that your dream? Is that the goal? To write a sitcom or something?
Yeah, like I want to like the biggest goal is like my stand up and just to be like putting out albums and touring.
Yeah.
But then also I feel like maybe I can get like a sitcom produced.
That'd be really cool.
Especially because there's such a small level at which they can be made at that like it could be just like some web series that I make with people in Toronto comedy.
Yeah. You could do it in the apartment too.
Yeah.
You guys don't know, but the production studio here it's homey, and then Karen's got like her setup here. It's very profesh. I'd be like, like a sitcom just here in the living room, like a little friends living room.
Do you do any writing outside of stand-up?
I've taken courses for like the writing, so that's why I asked you if it was maybe the same one that I took.
Oh, who did you do yours through?
His name's Brent Forrester, I think, and he was a writer on The Simpsons and like and The Office, and it was like I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but it was just like one day a week. Like we'd jump on like a Zoom, and it was like a bunch of people would join in from like different parts of the world, and they would teach you kind of like comedy devices. Like he would give his rationales to like what's funny, like what makes an episode in The Office funny. And it was very interesting. Like it's so weird, like kind of diving deep into things that we know is funny, but like the mechanics behind it, like I find that really interesting.
Yeah, because we've been watching those shows our whole lives.
Yeah, and you don't think about that stuff. You're like, oh, ha ha ha, like that's hilarious. But it's like, ooh, there was someone like thinking and crafting like this little juxtaposition. I don't know. It was really fun.
Yeah, but I think it's like making a meal. Like if you were just like, I think I know how eggs work, but like there's,
eggs. I love that. I love that example. I know how eggs work.
You might want the YouTube video.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I really liked it. I just have a thing where I don't know, school like long writing projects really intimidated me. That's why I kind of like stand up, where it's like you can just take it bit by bit. It doesn't have to be like a full long form piece. Like I would procrastinate so much.
Yeah.
Just because I know there's like this big thing that I need to like write about. But I feel like when I'm writing stand up, I just go like joke by joke. Like, oh, it's like, I don't know if it's my attention span. That might be it. And that's why it's a little bit more of an accessible format.
I feel that 1,000%. Like, it's not just like, because you write the small bits and then you can take them out and see if they work and get rewarded just at that small level.
Oh yeah,
and then you
piece by piece.
Yeah, if you had to write your whole stand-up album and then start going to clubs, like I just don't think the art form would exist.
Yeah, and that makes me think of like people who write books.
Yeah.
You write a full draft, like years of work. You have no idea how it's gonna land, and then you're like, "Hey, could you take a look at this?"
You're just alone.
I'm sure it's not like how it works like that all the time. Like I'm sure they do little check-ins with like the progress of it, but like I know people who it's like, in my mind, like you're writing this big piece, you just don't know if it's good or not, and then you give it to someone once it's done. That would scare me. It's like, well, tell me if I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, with stand-up, it's like, okay, well, I write a joke today. I'll try it tonight, see if it works. If it doesn't, like, okay, there's something I could change it.
Yeah.
I'm not writing 10 chapters of this one joke. So.
And it's like if you get on stage and do like 10 jokes, like you at least hit on some of them,
yes.
right? Whereas like a novel is so dependent on the whole.
Yeah.
That I think it's just, I don't know. It sounds like daunting, and I understand why there's a lot of mental unwellness amongst novelists.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that. I want to read more, just to combat the short attention span. That's such a thing now. Everyone's trying to fight against the algorithm and the scrolling, and I want to be one of those people, but it's so hard. And one thing they say to do is just like, yeah, read more. If you can sit through a book, if you can like train your attention span to read a difficult thing, then that's going to help you out. So I was talking to Matt Render, who reads a lot of books.
Oh yeah, he was on recently.
Yeah,
and he's the only person who looked at my bookshelf and was
of course. That's such I love that.
And knew like obscure books from the shelf. And
just like painted you in a certain way because interesting, you're reading this. Okay. Interesting. Dr. Seuss. Okay. That would be my bookshelf. Oh, Dr. Seuss. Green eggs and ham.
So what was Render telling you?
Oh, he was talking about, what's this guy's name? Something. He has 3 names. He wrote Infinite Jest. Shoot. Oscar. No. Albert. No. Wilde.
Jonathan. No.
Something. Oh my God. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's 3 names.
Infinite Jest.
It's going to eat me up. Can I look at it? Can I look it up?
Yes. Okay. Yes. He also like, I feel like he goes viral often online because he has this bit that he did where he talks about water.
Water.
It's like if you're like things that are in the air but you don't know them. No, I'm not even going to remember that.
It's David Foster Wallace.
Nice.
And he was telling me how like he wrote this book Infinite Jest, and it's a really hard read.
It's massive.
It's like, and it's very difficult, very hard words, and he made it like that on purpose. He's like, no, I don't want this to be like easy to read. I want this to be extremely difficult and a little bit incoherent. I was like, why would anyone? But then Matt was kind of like, well, his whole thing is like reading should be difficult.
See, for me, I am somebody like I can only read something if I'm very excited about it and if I like it. And there's certain books, like especially ones I read for school, where like I had to push through the first 100 pages because they sucked. Yeah. And I don't typically, as an adult, I don't fuck with those books. But yeah, my sister, she read Infinite Jest, and that was the first really big book she read, and it was because she wanted that challenge. Yeah. And she likes buying something really dense, really hard, and I'm just like, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Even like there's authors I read that might seem hard because they're a classic, so you know the name. Like Nabokov is a serious writer, but his writing is really fun to read. Okay. So I fuck with him, but I wouldn't read Infinite Jest unless I was loving it. Like, if I read the first chapter and it was magical.
Yeah, yeah.
The only big books I've read as an adult are like Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. See, I need to go into all of those. But I also like I liked what you said where you're talking about authors and like I fuck with them. I find that so funny. It's like, oh, we talk about them like rappers. When David Foster Wallace was on the come up, I really fuck with his new shit. His whole shit was like, that's something. We'll write that down for something. Like that could be like a segment. What books are you fucking with?
Oh, I would love that.
But yes, I would like to read more. Also, you just have more to talk about. You're just a more interesting human being, I think. Isn't it funny? Like I reference TikToks all the time. I reference reels. Like those are now like my content, like the things that I bring up in conversation, and it feels so lame.
Yeah, but it is. I guess I mention TikToks a lot, and then I'll one of my kind of talking about the weather things with people is what shows are you watching?
Oh, okay.
But then it's kind of weird because it's sort of, if you say a show that I also like, we have a ton to talk about. But sometimes people mention a show and I don't even really know the genre, and then it's like, are you going to explain this to me?
That's the worst. That's so much emotional labor. I learned that word recently, emotional labor. I'm using it all the time. Whenever I have to force myself to explain myself more than I want to, there's just too much emotional labor for me. But yes, there's a lot of emotional labor in explaining a full ass show to you. I have to explain things about the genre. It's just, it won't make sense. And that's why I do feel bad when people mention a reference and I don't know. It's like, oh, I know you're about to go through a lot. Or we just leave it there. Yeah,
because there's also like the emotional labor of me pretending I'm going to watch your show.
Oh, yes. Oh, the face. Oh, really? Oh, is that on? What streaming service is that on? Like, I'm never gonna type those words in Netflix search bar at all. Like, if it comes up, maybe like top one.
What shows do you watch?
Oh, Karen, the emotional labor I'm about to go through. No, because I don't watch a ton of shows, and like,
you're just TikTok.
I'm 26 years old. I still have a boy anime brain. So
anime.
Yeah, have you watched any anime or no?
I recently watched Howl's Moving Castle because Michelle,
yes.
she's been teaching me about the world.
She's been teaching you about the world
of anime. Well, I have had like a number of people on who've mentioned anime, like Suggle's an anime chick. One of my first guests was Justin Bishop. There's so many anime
there is.
kids
It's a big
stand up. Like
it's a big thing.
We could start a subgroup.
Yeah.
Well, there kind of already is within.
Yeah. So, and what I like about anime is it's just like, it's like 25 minutes. I can just like turn my brain off. And the ones that I like, so I'm watching one called Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just like brainless fighting, and it's just like amazing. It's just Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Karen, this is so funny.
So he's like a dude named Kaisen who does jujitsu?
You would think that's an excellent guess. Not at all.
It's just like if I had a guy called Johnny Karate. It's just like, it just sounds fun.
That does sound. Johnny Karate. Was that Karate Kid? That's not Karate Kid.
I think that's from Parks and Rec.
Oh. We're bridging so many gaps together, from Parks and Rec to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Sorry, so what does this guy do?
So, it's a world of sorcery.
Ooh.
And there's like curses, which is like demons. And I'm feeling the labor. I'm feeling the emotional labor. No. We're getting through this. There's demons, and essentially like there's like sorcerers who are really strong, and there's a power ranking for how strong you are as a sorcerer. And there's also a power ranking for like the demons. So there's like a big boss demon who's like likes to wreak havoc on the world, very evil. And there's this really, 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 really bad demon guy. His name's Sukuna, and he was I think he was like Sukuna, yeah. Teaching a Karen about Sukuna. This is so wild. This is so awesome. But yeah, he's really bad. I kind of forget the first seasons, but he's evil, and he's trying to come back to the world of sorcery. And he partitioned his spirit into 10 fingers. And so this one guy eats a finger, and he's slowly becoming a vessel for him. And essentially the world is like trying to like get a hold of him. I completely butchered. I forget.
No, that's okay. I also think like if you love something, you don't have to be an expert on it. Like usually when I talk about a show, people are like, "Oh, what season did you like?" And I'm like, "I don't know.
I just liked it. I just remember liking it.
Like what? It's like my life. Like I can't tell it chronologically and like I don't remember a lot of shit.
That's so true.
Doesn't mean I wasn't there and I didn't love it.
And they say it's not about what people say, it's about how they make you feel.
Yeah.
I think that's in general about life. You don't remember every nitty-ditty detail.
Yeah.
Jeez. But you remember how you felt watching the show, and you're like, no, I like the show. But yeah, Karen, that's what I'm watching. I'm not watching like too much. I want to though. I want to because like that's such a big part of culture, our shows and movies, and
yeah,
I do feel a little left out sometimes. And I also feel as an artist, if you're writing comedy, like you need stuff to like draw inspiration from. You can't imagine I mean, I do, and like we both do, like draw from your own life, but I don't know. I'd like to.
It's like, I don't know. I'm so oriented towards like doing what you like.
Yeah.
It's like I get the thing of wanting the longer attention span, and I think that's good. But I just say, maybe get some manga and like, that's
like the one.
Books in anime in a book.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's long attention span.
Yeah. And sitting through movies now.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch something in the theater just because
they're making movies tremendously long.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a test of my bladder. But I mean just like an hour and a half movie, just going to watch it in the theater because I'll sit there and watch it. And if I wait till it's on streaming, it's like it might take me 3 hours to watch it because I keep turning my phone and missing it and like having to start it again. That's so true.
Oh, yeah. In the comfort of your home, you're not even like there.
Yeah, or something just you get to the end of it and you're like, I like that, but I probably would have liked it more if
you were immersed.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah.
And I'd like to pay more attention to my life as well.
It's bringing this to a larger psychological discussion.
I'm glad you're here. Like I think it's the glasses. You're like,
yeah.
You look like you could be a good
I'm glad you're projecting that onto me. I'm glad I'm the vessel of a psychologist. No, but I like that philosophy, and I've been trying to get on that too, like just be present more. I was talking to someone the other day, Sergey. He's a Ukrainian comic.
Kitpus, yeah,
yes,
that guy's hilarious.
He's got so many stories, and he was saying some really beautiful stuff about comedy the other day, and I was like, oh my god, why do I not pay attention to life the same way? Obviously, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but like he grew up like kind of in the war.
Yeah.
And he's doing comedy in Ukraine and in Russia, and he knows how to do comedy in so many different languages. And he was explaining like the challenge of moving to Canada and then starting comedy in English. And his perspective on it was like, why not? I live one life. Why not add so many challenges, or like why not push myself to make me uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like it's such a like beautiful way to look at the things that we do every day. It's like, we don't have a lot of time. Let's enjoy every moment of it. Let's push ourselves and do hard things. That's kind of the takeaway. And then I was like, okay, I was complaining about an open mic. I was complaining about this and that, and now my life has changed because I talked to Sergey.
I love that.
But yeah, no, he always drops like little nuggets like that. But
yeah. Living
presently, I guess, is the theme, and it's hard to do because our attention is it's pulled into so many directions. But I don't know. What have you done to be more present, Karen? What's Karen Mitch's present practices?
I have a long history with yoga, but I feel like I haven't been doing a lot of yoga lately. I think the most present I'm in anything is writing, which is imaginative, so I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that totally counts.
But it feels healthy. It feels like if I have a day when I write something, like it's kind of like if I have a day that I work out, like I feel better afterwards.
Oh, for sure. I think well, I don't know. I think I was listening to a podcast on kind of meditation, or just getting into that flow state, like that oneness when you feel like you're one with whatever activity you're doing. I think reading, writing, exercise, like the big three. If your day is composed of that, like I think you're just generally going to be happier.
Oh, yeah.
If your day is composed of like moments where you feel like you're one with whatever activity you're doing, it's just
Do you have any like hobbies that you're super into?
I've been taking salsa classes.
Fuck off.
And I love dancing.
Yeah.
I've always loved dancing, but it's like I've never taken a class.
Yeah.
And
you're Colombian, so
I'm Colombian, yes.
Did you know?
I had basics, but part of the reason.
Do they, when you're a little Colombian toddler, get you dancing?
They do. Yeah, all the kids, like and that's kind of like why I wanted to learn is because, yeah, back home, everyone, like, it's very, very common. Like, our family friends come over for our like parties, like Christmas, New Year's, like everyone's dancing. It's just a thing you do. And like, that's also how you meet girls in our culture. You take them out to dance. It's such a normal thing. It's just like, hey, let's dance. And you invite them, and it's like, it's such a beautiful experience, but you don't want to feel insecure about your dancing. So
yeah,
you want to learn.
I did like one sort of like trial salsa class. It was right when I was getting into stand-up. I had this neighbor, Steph, and she was getting into Latin dancing, and she wanted me to do that with her, but I was kind of just like busy going to Mike's, so I think I did one class with her, and then I never went back. But like, there's like another version of me that like maybe like has like a Latin boyfriend and instead of a podcast.
Karen, why did you invite me? That's so adorable, though. I think you should. I think you should get into it. I think in general, having hobbies outside of stand-up comedy has been very helpful for me. There was like maybe like a year ago where it's like I was going really hard, and like I was like going to Mike's as much as I can, but then you're just kind of like stuck in that space, and it's hard to be creative when you just see the same things.
Yeah.
You know? So I think this dancing, you asked me about hobbies, dancing has been really good because it's like the instructors are teaching you like step by step, and it's like if you like if you're like distracted, like you're gonna be an idiot in front of people.
Yeah. Because
they're like you dance with a partner, and then you switch. You dance with the next partner. It's like, okay, well, I gotta pay attention, make sure I do the moves right, or this person's gonna think I'm an idiot next, and then the next person you F it up the same way. So that's been really helpful, and you feel like you're just so locked in for this hour. You're not thinking about anything else. It was a very good escape. When I was going through breakup, I was like taking every class every day because, I wanted to distract the mind and be one with my body. And then it was just really fun. You go to the socials and you just get like a little flow state. So dancing has been really fun.
So the socials, does that take place at a club?
It does, yeah. And they do like all over the city. And I feel like in the summer they do them like outside. And like that's what I'm really excited for. But yes, I wanted to connect with my roots because everyone grows up dancing in Colombia, and I love the music. The music really makes me feel like, it's weird. It makes me feel like homey. Like it makes me feel really comfortable. Cause it's just like reminding me of like when I was 5 years old at like a New Year's party, like with my family friends and like my family. And it's such a weird, like, it's a very weird feeling to describe, like hearing those, like that music. It brings, like, it just transports you back to that time. And I think for a long time, like, I was not really like, I liked it, but I was never really like intentionally seeking to learn more about that music or like learn to dance.
Yeah.
I feel like university, I was surrounded by a lot of white people. I went to Western. Yeah. And
we're both Western.
Yes.
Guys.
And it was a lot of fun. I loved Western, but I definitely felt like, oh geez, like there's no flavor here. And it was an area or like a time in my life where I was like, okay, like I'm figuring myself out, but I didn't know like what the music that I liked, or like, I don't know, you just kind of try to fit in with everyone else around you. Right. So I feel like I was separated from a bit of my background a little bit in that time period.
Yeah.
And then recently, it's been cool to like jump back into it and start learning and messing up. And like, that's part of the process, but just having the courage to like, hey, do you want to dance? Like that's so.
Yeah. I think there's something too, like when you're in Canada as a kid, your parents will introduce you to certain cultural elements. And then there's a point in your adulthood where you have to decide, to make that part of your life.
100%.
You do just become like standard white.
It's a decision. And I think me, just looking at, those old memories and like, wow, like there's nothing stopping me from exploring that more, you know? There's nothing stopping me from asking my parents about what life was like when they grew up, or like what
was like, because they would have been in Colombia when Colombia was still
bad. It was bad news.
Cocaine,
trafficking. Absolutely. They were in the thick of like the 90s, 80s, 90s was like it was chaos.
Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, when my brother went on a sun vacay to Colombia, and it was one of like the first regions that kind of opened up as a touristy place.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend was at the time like a sun vacay girl, so she knew what was what. But when he told me he was going to Colombia, I was like, George, you can't go to Colombia, because it was like early 2000s and people weren't.
I wouldn't even go back then. Like, yeah. So we moved to Canada like 2005, and I was born in 1999. I was born in Colombia. But like the plan was for me to be born in like the US. Like we were like on our way out. And part of the reason we moved was because like my parents were getting threats. So they had like a business, and people who own businesses in Colombia were like the first to get targeted for like ransom, and like a lot of kidnappings would happen, and that's how they would like extort families.
Oh, fuck.
So my parents would be getting calls like, hey, like we hear you have a kid on the way. Like, we know we've got like eyes, and it's like, we can't raise a family here. So they were like making everything they could do possible to leave. Just hearing the stories of like life back then, like car bombings, like a block away from where they lived. My family's like in the Colombian police as well, so obviously they're on the front lines against like these organizations, and like they're saying horrible things every day, like closest friends dying. Like my grandpa was like a general in like the police, like in some of like the worst times, and just like hearing stories of him and my uncles, and just like the amount of like instability and this violence around you. Like, you can't be a parent. You're surviving. You're busy surviving.
Yeah.
And so they essentially, packed up everything. Like they were living like successful lives. They had a successful business in Colombia. Like they were like hardworking people. They had built their whole lives there. And then making that decision for me and my brothers to leave all of that behind, and then like move to a new country for our safety. Like, I don't take it lightly. I think I forget because it's been so long, and I'm Canadian. It's like I have none of the fear that they grew up having.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little bit. I always feel like when you're in the womb and maybe mom's a little stressed out, like I think it transfers into you. I think I'm more anxious, and my mom is a little bit as well. But it's like, oh yeah, like they sacrificed everything for me to be here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild to think about, and now things are getting better, and people are like, oh, I actually went to Colombia on a bachelor trip. Like, yeah, I bet you did. It's like things are getting better now.
Or like one of my coworkers was like in Colombia just for like weeks, just like working there, and just living in, I forget what city she was in, but just having kind of the same life she would have up here, but with better weather and funner people.
Exactly. And it's like, it's taken a lot for that to be the case. But it's always interesting. And I talk a little bit about how I am Colombian. I was born in Colombia, but I've only gone a handful of times. And I think I run into people who actually visit like very often, like white people who know more about Colombia than I do.
Work from home.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I live a digital nomad lifestyle. Have you been to Cartagena? Have you been to Medellin? Like I correct them on the pronunciation, and I'm like, but I've actually never been. So it's like I talk about that. It's like I hear people like who are like very loving of Colombian culture.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, I didn't get that, you know, like I I had to leave and hear about my homeland from like these stories of violence. And it's only now that I think things are getting better that I'm like, wait, now I can go and enjoy it. Now I can like connect with my family who's back there and like make that effort to make it part of who I am, because it is. And like growing up here, it's funny, like so many Colombians like kind of immigrated to Canada and they made like this community, and it felt like all the traditions that I would have had back in Colombia, like we kind of fostered that in London, Ontario, the whitest of places. But yeah, London is like, they call it Londombia because there's a lot of Colombians. And part of me is like, yeah, well, I actually kind of did get a little bit of that tradition, because all of our Christmases, we'd get together with all the Colombian families, and we'd do this thing called La Novena, where we would like pray and like eat a bunch of food and like sing the songs.
La Novena?
La Novena.
What does it mean?
So it's like novena is like 9. Novena's 9. And it's like 9 days before Christmas. You do like a certain amount of prayers and like celebration for like getting ready for baby Jesus.
Okay.
And it's just the best time ever, because you're just getting with like all your friends and family and just eating a bunch of food like every night consistently for 9 days.
That sounds amazing.
So we would do that. Yeah. And we would do that here in Canada, in London, Ontario. There's snow outside, but we're doing La Novena. We're singing those songs. So I think it's like, I didn't get to grow up in Colombia, but I think the Colombian culture and like the beautiful like parts of family and friendship that I would have gotten if I stayed home, or if I grew up there, like parts of it were here. Like we fostered that here. And that's why I think Canada's like a great place for that reason, is people flee their countries that's in political turmoil, but they meet people of the same background and they can have little bubbles of that back home, like here. At the same time, also integrating, like, you know, I think I'm a symptom of that.
Yeah, but it's like people also bring like the cultures get fused into like broader Canadian culture.
Exactly.
But, like the food thing is the most obvious.
Yeah.
Like we eat better food. I
Absolutely.
can't even tell you what it was like in the 80s, my friend.
Oh, in 80s in Canada food? Oh, yeah, what did you even eat?
Like our foreign food was just Chinese, Italian, tacos. Like it was like
all in
Mexican
one? Chinese
was just tacos. Like we
so
didn't
funny.
have Mexican broadly. That was like crazy. We just had Taco Tuesday. Yeah, but I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I'm like just like in the grocery store and there's like ready-made sushi, and I'm like, it was shocking to people that anyone ate sushi and you couldn't find it anywhere. Like,
yeah, that's so interesting.
Things change so quickly.
Yeah, now it's like
if I told someone like I'd never had Thai food, they wouldn't believe me.
Yeah.
But it used to be that like nobody had anything.
There's no. Yeah, what is that? That's crazy to think of a Toronto with no butter chicken, no shawarma, no sushi. That's actually crazy. You're right. It was like a pretty quick change. Like it's fairly new.
I went to visit my sister in Thunder Bay, and they had Thai food, they had sushi. It was just like, oh, okay, everywhere.
I love that it's everywhere.
But yeah, so the Colombian community was a big part of your growing up. Yeah.
So to bring it back to dancing, I do want to I love that part. I love that part of culture. I love that part of, it's just joy. I think it's just an expression of joy. Dancing is an expression of joy. And you get into a flow state, and when you're like dancing with a partner, it's like, it's a language. It's a separate language. There's like little cues to tell them what to do, and that's all. I didn't really know it was that deep. Like there's so many little things about dancing and dancing with a partner where you make things happen, but there's like subtle communication. Very cool. But yeah, I think it's been just very like cool to have a separate hobby.
Yeah I think, well, for a while, like reading and writing were my hobbies. So now that I'm trying to do them seriously, or do writing seriously, it's like, now I need a silly hobby.
I was actually going to ask you that. Do you feel like, because you're taking those more seriously, it takes a little bit of the joy away from it, or like the silliness?
I don't think so, because like, I feel like with writing, if you're not taking it seriously, you probably don't do it. Like, I feel like I was always a reader who, like, thought she was going to write someday, but I wasn't writing. So stand-up got me doing that type of writing, and then also I pushed myself pretty hard to do the screenwriting.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't pushing myself, I think I just wouldn't be doing it at all. But then it's like the total time, I guess, of like going out and performing. And it does feel like, I think at some point I have to have just some frivolous hobbies.
I think everyone should. I think everyone should have something that they're bad at and they're just like trying.
Okay, wait. Have you ever tried doing stand-up in Spanish?
I did, yeah. I started in Spanish, actually. So my brother's a stand-up comedian. He does it in Spanish primarily.
But he, like, was also, like, going to university in English and...
Yes, he knows English.
Totally English-speaking person. Not totally, but...
I would say Spanish is his first language, but he knows English perfectly as well.
So why did he choose Spanish?
I think the fact that I'm speaking in my case why I decided to do English even though I started in Spanish, because I think in English.
Yeah.
So it felt more authentic or easier.
He thinks in Spanish.
He thinks in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
He definitely skews more to like Spanish. He knows English, but Spanish is probably first language. Also, like, I think there was a bigger need for Spanish comedy in Toronto. There wasn't really a space for it. And him and his business partner, who they met at the bank that they worked at, they both quit and decided to pursue comedy. They saw that there was like a need for like Spanish comedy. There was a lot of Spanish speaking people in Toronto, but there was no stand-up comedy in Spanish. And stand-up comedy is actually a really like, it's an ingrained part of our culture. Not so much like the art form stand-up, but like storytelling and like humor in general. Like, I think Latin Americans are very lighthearted, and like humor is a very big part of like family life. So yeah, they started in Spanish. They started basically the stand-up comedy and Spanish movement in Toronto, and it's taken a long time for it to build. But
what's your brother's name?
Juan Cajiao. And
Juan. And then what's the second name?
Cajiao. Yeah.
And then what's his partner's name?
Stefan Dyer. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and they were like my mentors. They are my mentors. Like, I asked them about comedy. I asked them about everything, and like they've been doing it for so long now, and they've like the work that they've put in to establish like a scene is crazy, and now like they're reaping the benefits of like consistent work for 10, 12 years. But I saw them when they were starting up, and it was like, oh my God, you're quitting your job to do this? Seriously? So I think actually that's very important, like to have people in your circle that you see pursuing their dreams and like, oh wait, it's actually possible to do this. I think that's why a lot of people who don't have exposure to people doing it, like they stay in their bubble, or they stay like kind of afraid to do things that they want.
Yeah. And I think if the only people you know who do it are like celebrities, then you think it's like almost like you have to win the lottery and then go do it.
Totally.
As opposed to that there are sort of working class ways to like get income.
Totally. Yeah. And I see it all the time now. Like, so many of our peers in Toronto stand-up comedy are doing such awesome things. And it's like you've seen them like grind at an open mic with 3 people with you.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing them get like success like little by little, and it's like, wow, this is possible. Like, we're in a place where things can happen, and like if you just keep showing up. I think that's very inspiring. I think you need that. You need to be exposed to people that are pursuing things and like trying and risking things. So that's like makes it a safe space for you to try.
Yeah. And I think with your brother, like it's really obvious that they had to like build the community.
Totally.
But I do think there is something with just that all stand-up comedians need to be sort of building this stand-up community.
Yeah, I agree.
Like just, you know, when you're on a show, you're promoting that show. Every club is trying to increase their audience all the time.
Yeah.
Like, like when we talk about kind of like diversity, sometimes like people like it can be seen obviously through a very altruistic lens, like everyone deserves a chance, but it's also like the more different kinds of people in stand up, the more different kinds of people in the audience, and then that grows the audience.
Yeah, you have to give back, and like that's why I always appreciate like people who are farther along than you, like coming back and be like, hey, like have you thought of doing this, or like tips on content, which everyone's trying to figure out, or tips on a new joke, obviously solicited. Okay, not was like, hey, let me show you how to do your act better. That's always a little annoying, but no, when they come out from like a good place, like, hey, this is what I would do in your situation, or when I was like 3-4 years in, like this is what I thought was important, but what's actually important is this. So I like the scene in Toronto because there's such a variety of people in their careers and doing things differently. Like some people, are like really focusing on the content piece. Some people are doing sketches. Some people want to just focus on stand-up and getting booked by the clubs. Other people want to do stand-up but do their own thing, produce their own shows, and like everyone's doing something.
Yeah,
that's just awesome.
Last summer, you were one of the finalists for the Big Six comedy competition. I feel like I'm telling you.
Question mark?
How was that?
It was really cool. I think anyone who any comedian you talk to about competitions has a different take on it, or I'd say maybe the prevailing take on competitions in comedy is that comedy is subjective, and it's hard pinning comics against each other.
Yeah.
Because in a show, like, it is kind of like a team effort. Like, we're here to deliver a good experience for the audience, and we're doing it like as a unit. Like, if we all did well, like, we're happy for each other.
Yeah.
But in a competition, it's interesting because you're like, oh, he killed or she killed, and then I'm next, and like I got to do better. But I think it's a really good exercise to push yourself and have stakes, because I think when you don't have stakes, you can get comfortable, or you don't care as much. But and it wasn't imagined, but putting the confines of a competition and wanting to win, those are enough stakes for you to really like go 110%. I found it really cool to push myself to do that. I have been consistently going up on stage as much as I can, so I had confidence. Like, I'm like, oh, I could win this. But I also saw like the people around me, and these are like headliners, and like people have been doing it for a long time. So at the same time, going into a competition, you kind of have that talk with yourself. Like, yes, it would be cool to win, but if I don't win, like, it's not the end of the world. It was just more stage time that I got in front of like a really awesome audience. So the first round the show was interesting. Like, someone went before me that kind of just bombed, like bad. Like, energy was just like to the ground. And these competitions are interesting because it's like, you could apply to this competition of doing stand-up 5 times.
Yeah. Because they chose out of a lottery.
They literally picked out of
144 people, and then I think they got each night to be a range. Like, they didn't want all the farther along people to end up on one night, so I think they intentionally would have like 8 people on a night, and they'd have like a 1 year, a 2 year, a 3 year. So the level of experience was spread balanced over the night. So you would have been on a night probably with one guy who's a pro, and another person who it's their first year in comedy.
Yeah, that's what it was. There's like a couple like pro headliners on my night, and then there was like a couple like just early comics. So this poor guy like went up there, I don't know, probably doing it less than a year, bombed, just bad. And I was up next, and I'm like, I have to talk about this. There's just like a stink in the air.
Yeah.
And I think it was a risk, because you're in a competition. You're here to do your tightest 6 minutes of material. but you're also there with the audience and you're in the room with them. A good comic is someone who recognizes the environment and can put themselves in the audience's shoes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if I didn't address it and just pretended like nothing happened and I just did my set, like there would be a lingering like disconnect with me in the audience. So I went up there and I just did 2 jokes about the previous guys like bombing, and it just blew the tension and everyone was like howling.
I love it.
And yeah, because I did that, I was able to just get into my material that's been practiced and I've done thousands of times. And then I won that first night. I was like super like proud of myself because I was like, oh, I actually wasn't expecting to make it past the first round.
I was proud of you too, because you watched who the winners are, and you were newer.
Yeah.
Compared, it wasn't your first year, but you were in that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
so
was
I was
definitely
like,
not the most experienced comic.
Yeah, I was happy for you.
Thank you. It was really happy, and I think being proud of yourself is very important in comedy.
Yeah.
I think a long time when I started, I was always trying to like, oh no, it's fine. Like, you know, be humble and like,
yeah.
I think that's important, but it's also important to celebrate your achievements because fuck, like that's what we have. Like we're doing this for the day-to-day stuff. You know, if we're only going to be proud of ourselves when we hit the big milestone, like we're missing out on so much like little wins.
Yeah. That's the joy and the motivation from that.
Yeah. So it was really fun. And then, I moved on to like the semifinals in Niagara, and that was really fun. My whole family was there, and my family's never like my parents.
I remember talking to Hannah, and she was telling me her experience of the final, and she was like, and Felipe's whole family was there, and I was like, oh right, because he's Colombian. So they like show up for you.
And it's like, so my parents have seen me do stand up like maybe once when I did it in Spanish.
Oh shit.
Right. But that was like maybe like the first couple months that I did stand up, and like I needed people to bring to my like graduation show because I took a class like a while back. And so this was the first time that they were seeing me do my thing in English. And they know that I've been going out every night and doing my thing in English, but they've never seen it. They'd always be like, how was the show? And I'd tell them, yeah, it was good. But it's like, they've never been to know what does good mean? You know, what does it actually feel like to be when you're presenting? Like, what's that like? So they showed up to Niagara Falls. All of my brothers were there. And
how many brothers?
One of my brothers was not there. Carlos in Colombia. He still lives there. But he was supporting me from Colombia.
Nice.
I have 3 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 half brothers and my full brother. But we're all full, technically.
Nice.
Well, not technically, but vibe-wise, full brothers. But yeah, it was awesome. And then I made it past the semis, and then on the finals, I had seen everyone's set that's on the finals. I'm like, oh my god, like this is just gonna be really hard to stand out. I've seen the winner. So Ryan Visser won the comedy competition.
And I was there the last.
Oh, show. Okay, awesome. And I was like, I saw Ryan set it at the semifinals. I'm like, there's no way I'm winning this. He is fucking amazing, and he killed it both nights. But I was really happy with how I did. Like, I really felt like I left it all out there. It was funny because it's like the grand scheme of what I'm doing here. This is a comedy competition in Canadian comedy. Like, the meaning of this, it's more like what I make of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is this going to make my career? Is this going to, like, throw me into the stardom of Canadian comedy? No.
But, I feel like okay, first off, because I had seen you on stage, before that, I'd been seeing you regularly, right? But when I saw that performance, I really could see that you had leveled up. And I mean, people are always leveling up from going out to mics. But I think probably that summer you were like going on a steeper incline because of like the competition. And
Absolutely.
When I saw you on stage, there was just like, you had more charisma. Like even like when you were doing like stuff that I'm like, oh, I know this bit.
Yeah.
But it's like you did it on a totally different level. So it was really cool. And I think like, you know, there's other people in the audience who are in the comedy scene who, you know, it does matter when they see you, even if you're not winning, like they're seeing you at that level.
Right. That's true.
And then you got to that level, like if it pushed you up a bit, then
sure.
like you're carrying that on.
Yeah, it was a good motivator. And thank you for saying that. I really appreciate the praise there, because I was like taking it very seriously, and I was like, I really want to do the best that I can. And that's why I think competitions, as though like it's shitty to lose, but you take it as a lesson, as an opportunity for you to get in front of more people, and I think it's a positive. Like that's why I'll do competitions. I'll do them.
Yeah. And I think that one was a good one. There's a bunch of like the newcomer competitions that are just shit. And like not that every single one of them is shit. Like there's a varying range of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it feels like an event I could have skipped out on. Whereas I think most people who did the Big Six were kind of like, felt like they got something out of it.
Definitely. Yeah. It was an event. It was like properly like hosted and stuff. And it felt very cool. It felt like a TV show.
Even just like if I hadn't done that, I probably would have done at least gotten up once that summer on amateur night. And it might, because summer audiences suck.
Yeah.
It might have been 20 people, but instead I had like the packed Yuck Yucks
yeah, totally.
house.
Because they're marketing it as like, that's the thing with like a competition. Like I have a joke about this. I love competition shows. Like anything that there's stakes.
Yeah.
It just makes things more entertaining.
And I'm somebody who thinks of myself as being not competitive, but there is something about the competition structure. Like, I don't think singers should be pitted against each other, but I will watch a singing contest show. It's fun to like have a stake. Like I'm like, oh no, this one's my guy, and then you're rooting for the other one.
You're rooting for someone, and like you're team them, and then you know you're sad and you're going through it with them. That's so true. And with comedy, it's interesting, comedy competition, because the room, it's like you're there and you know kind of the pops. You know how loud an audience can get, and you like see a comic get them to like the max, and then you see another one do it but more times. So it's like, it's crazy that there's a live scoreboard.
Yeah.
Kinda. There's still like judges, and depending on the competition, like there's different things that they look for, but I think comedy's unique. It's that, fuck, if you kill, like it's undeniable. You hear it. You hear the roar of a crowd like going crazy. So it's almost, yes, it's subjective, but you also know that, oh, they just demolished. Like they just like blew the roof off the place.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I feel like not a lot of art forms have that. Like singing, like, wow, like, you know, yes, they have pops and yes, they have their applauses, but it's like while the comic is on there, you know how well they're doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're finding out in real time.
Yeah, that's insane. That's why, like, honestly, and I think there was a TV show of like Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
That was like a comedy competition, like formatted into a show, correct?
Yeah.
I would love a modern day of that.
We need that.
That's so cool.
Because we've had, like, I had Darren Leo on recently, and he was on Canada's Got Talent, and Sidekit was on the same one with him.
Yeah.
But they were against other types of performers. Like, they were...
Oh, that's hard.
It's singing, and it's juggling, and it's any talent, which I think is... But yeah, we should have just a good televised stand-up.
It'd be cool. Been talking a lot. You got me talking, Karen. Nice. You're doing a good job.
I also noticed that you're showcasing for JFL.
Yes.
I researched you.
Huh? Wait.
Actually, no, I was talking to Nikki Ash, and she told me she was showcasing,
Yeah.
and then I was looking at the...
Did the lineup come up?
Yeah, it's on...
Because I don't really know who I'm on with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
if
at this after.
you have to go into, there's like a poster, but you have to go in as if you were buying a ticket, and that's where you see all the names.
Interesting.
And then there's the one at, you're at the one at
Yuck Yucks.
Yeah, but then there's one at Comedy Bar, and there's one at Second City, but the Second City one I couldn't see the names on it.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like get the opportunity to showcase, but I'm very stoked for that. Like, once again, with showcases, it's similar to competitions. Like, the expectations you have can really determine like how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to manage expectations, but also do your best. I've talked to people who've done a lot of JFL showcases, and it's like, okay, you know, first one, like, it's more just to get a feel for it, get them to have at least a little bit of an exposure to your comedy. But you never know, you know, like my mission is the same. My goal is the same, is to like do my best and like do the best that I can. And as cliche as it is, and as however million times you've heard, just do your best. It really is. It really just comes down to it. Like, just feel like you're representing the amount of work that you've put in. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's similar to a competition where it's like, it's making me want to do my best and pushing myself to do that.
Yeah. Because I think there is a mentality that's common within comedy, which is like, people don't want to get their hopes up, so they diminish things, but then they don't work at things. And it's like, there's a line between, like, obviously don't become insane and delusional, but you want to be like, okay, this is serious, this is a big, and have it work for you, like that it makes you better.
Totally. I agree with that statement. Because you gotta be confident that you got picked for a reason. Like, they saw something in the tape that you showed, and like, now it's just do that, but in front of a live audience. So I'm excited for it. I think I don't want to overthink it too much. I don't want to start writing new stuff and just throw it in there. But it's also interesting because we have the material that we know that works, and we've said it a lot of times. And sometimes that takes the magic away from it if you're not present when you're saying it.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I know works. I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm not as excited as I was when I first wrote it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can make them actually suffer. You're like, wait, I know this works, but it's not working as well as it used to. Why? So I think it's interesting to be like, okay, I need to bring my best 6 minutes to this show. Am I gonna consciously bring myself back to when I was writing this and like bring that same energy? Or should I bring some new stuff that's working really well right now because I'm excited about it, and I do at least have some feedback on it. Like, it's not as tested as like my best stuff, but I don't know. These are things that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I feel like you got to go with the best stuff and like work on like finding the way to be present in it and make it new. Do you know this singer called Ben Howard?
Ben Howard? No.
He's like, he sings pretty emotional like love songs and stuff. He talked about like how, you know, when you're singing a sad song, you have to get sad again, but a lot of the time, like, you've really moved past this story. He's like, so you have to find it in yourself, but it's not necessarily like the original story. Like, it's some other part of you
have to evoke that emotion again.
Yeah. And so maybe it's slightly different with music versus comedy, but it is, I think, you have to.
I know what you mean, though. I have I've been writing a lot about my last relationship. And
is this the one where she got deported?
No. This that joke was like from a while back. This is fresher. But I find it interesting that, like, if I'm having a bad day and like maybe the breakup's on my mind, when I go up that night and say the breakup material, like it kind of stings. Obviously, like they say, comedy's tragedy plus time, and it like wasn't that long ago, but at this point, like, I'm feeling better-ish. And sometimes I say it and I'm feeling good, and it's like, I don't know if the audience buys it. Part of it is like me being in that emotion of like being upset, being frustrated, being sad.
Yeah.
So I can sympathize with that. Like the emotion of singing is like a love song. It's like it brings you back to that emotion. And I was thinking about like, ooh, should I do some of the breakup material on the JFL showcase? Like, should I think it's cool to be vulnerable on stage. I think that's something that I always appreciate in comedy, and something that this experience, like as bad as it made me feel, like I think a lot of beauty came out of that, and I was able to write some stuff that like was more personal and honest.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of comedy that I want to start writing more about, but it hurts. It hurts to be on stage and like kind of remember a little bit of what happened, or like the feelings that I was feeling at the time.
Yeah. When I first got into comedy, I thought all my comedy would be more like opinions about the world. And I didn't think I'd do a lot of personal stuff. And then I started to, because I'm like, well, you got to talk about yourself. Yeah. And then I find like that is where I find my funniest stuff, because it is like, here's a frustration or an embarrassment and something negative, and then like the way I found humor about it. So it's like the bad part of the feeling is what makes it funny. So you have to... Yeah, I ended up liking my personal jokes more than my sort of like commentary stuff. So it's interesting, because I never really thought of that.
I agree. I came to that realization a little bit later too, where it was very much like, let's start with my funny observations. And then I think you can only get so much of a reaction from an audience when you're unless they're like extremely unique. Like there are geniuses in the comedy space that can make those observations like extremely concise and like well written. But I think the level of connecting with an audience on a joke about an observation versus a joke about a personal grievance or like a personal like hardship, it's such a there's just a higher ceiling, I feel. Yeah. And it's gonna add to the connection you have with them, and also the connection you have with yourself. Like it's interesting. Like this is so I'm getting so like philosophical about dick jokes, about poo jokes. yeah I'm talking all this like, ooh, like I'm getting so personal, and then you see me on stage, I'm talking about like shit,
literal shit.
But yeah, it's a good exercise. It's a good exercise to like audit your life. What's funny, what's hard, what's difficult, what's weird, what's interesting, and then putting that on paper, and then it's like journaling, but then you write it in a way that's funny.
Because if you don't, I don't know, even if you're going back to look for like, oh, where was I a jackass? Like, because that will be funny. Yeah. It's just like, it does get you to remember the embarrassments and the frustrations, and like, and be introspective and learn a few lessons. Whereas like, I think a lot of the time shit happens and then we move on, and we're just glad it's done. And
that's so true. Yeah. And it takes a second look into like, wait, hold on, that was a weird situation. There's a lot. There's actually something there. But yeah, I think writing personal stuff is important. And for this showcase set, I'm not sure. Like I want to put a little bit more of that side that I feel like I've explored more this year than I have in the past.
Okay, I like that then. Yeah.
Obviously, like in the sandwich of like what I know works, but
nice.
We'll see.
Okay. We're coming to the end, but I just want to ask this question, which you can take a while to answer it. Okay. I know your English is better than your Spanish, but if they were equal, would it be easier for you to be funny in English or Spanish?
Ooh.
Like, does one language or one style of stand-up lend itself more to comedy? Or
that's such a good question. If my English was as good as my Spanish,
I listened to this one rap group called Dead OBs, and they're from Quebec, and they rap predominantly in French, but they put some English in. And they said like punchlines were easier in English, or not punchlines, rhyming. Like
rhyming easier in English.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question. I think I grew up listening to more Spanish comedy just in my house, and I feel like the cadence of it is more descriptive, more there's more ways to say something. So I think there's more creativity in structuring your sentences in Spanish. But I don't have the dominance of the language like that. Like, I don't have the ability to really do that. But say I did, and thinking about what makes me laugh the most, it's like my brother kills me, and both my brothers, like, my family is the funniest thing. Like, that's like the joy, like the maximum laughing that, or like joy internally that I feel. It's like when I'm laughing with like my family or my friends. So I think if I had the ability to capture that, which is in Spanish, like, I think that would be like just the best. I think that would be awesome. Because I don't know, it just seems so much more familiar, and like, yeah, I feel like it'd be awesome. I would want to get to that point at some point. However, I think in English. Now my friends, with all my closest friends, I speak in English. And when we're messing around, it's like, it's English brain. It's like, so it's very hard for me to say. When I think of when I'm funniest in English, or like what makes me laugh the most, it's like in class, like just making like a comment to the teacher or something, and like that energy I associate with like English brain. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but that's the energy that I like to capture when I'm speaking English or doing English comedy, versus Spanish brain would be more like family settings.
But in a family setting, is that more like where you're like telling each other stories?
Yes. And in my family, that is a big thing. Like everyone has like that funny like uncle story. I feel like my comedy would be more like that if I had the capacity to do it fluently in Spanish. Versus in English, it's like those off comments, like I would be in like a classroom or like with my friends, like just making jabs at each other. Like, it's very like English comedy is very set up punch, like kind of. Well, at least my style. I'm not saying all of it is.
Yeah, no, but I feel that, and it's eviscerating. It's analytical. It's as opposed to evocative and like creative.
Yeah, I'd say so.
This is crazy. I need to learn another language.
It's wild. That's why that conversation I had with Sergey was very eye-opening to me, where it's like there's so much nuance in comedy in other languages, and like just the emotional labor, the mental load of like structuring your sentences, structuring your stories, having to make those changes, and having the confidence to do that. Like, that's unbelievable. So I have so much respect for people who take that plunge to learn a new language and then perform it. That's insane.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we've come to the end.
Awesome.
So is the next major thing you have the showcase?
Yes.
And what's the date for that?
The 24th. It's the
March
Tuesday.
24.
I think that's
Tuesday at Yuck.
Whatever is that Tuesday. But I also have a show I'm producing with my friend Harry, April 1st. Yes, April 1st. It's called Toronto is Doomed. It's at Supermarket in Kensington. And we got a really good lineup of like some of the best acts, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that. But yes.
So is it like a double headliner with you and Rollo?
I think we're just going to host.
Oh, okay.
Both of us. Then a 9 and a.
Did you guys just go like, "Hey, we look alike. We should."
Do we? That's so funny. It's like, hey, I like the way you look.
There's something about you that I find magnetic.
I love that. Yes, that's the theme of it.
Okay, and that one's April 1st.
April 1st, yes.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Karen. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for being on, Felipe.
Yeah.